Well, how are we all doing? Welcome to the Shit Vegan Show. I just pressed the wrong button. I'm Nick. I'm here with Bronte. She's an activist from Melbourne. So welcome to the Shit Vegan Show. Yeah. Got all the sounds. I think I can hear you. There we go. All right. Oh shit! I got to unmute you. Yeah. There we go. I'm brand new to all of this, so. All right, I got you. How you going?
Online, don't worry. This is my first rodeo.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. So, we are live on Twitch. We've already had Jamo G drop a comment.
Oh, friend, yes.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Not a lot. I'm just trying to refresh your stream so I can see people come up. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, awesome.
Start watching. I didn't really do much today. I just did some laundry, and just laying around until this happened. So
yeah, sweet.
Not much. Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I've just been running around as well. I've been obviously getting this ready earlier. For everyone tuning in, we had a bit of a chat earlier to try and sort of work out all the logistics and all that sort of shit. And when I pressed if anyone's on the stream right now, I pressed the wrong button and it's just brought Bronte up when it should have brought me up.
Did I come up first?
Yeah, you did. But that's okay, because what's happened is I use Discord and OBS Studios, which is a free broadcasting software, and it mirrored the image. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to flip it on the thing. And then because I did that, you came up instead. But it showed your shirt's on back to front on the stream, but mine's not. So, yeah. And
yours reads the right way, but mine doesn't.
Yeah. That's sick, by the way, Anti-Animal Cruelty Club. I see that around. Where'd you get that?
I got it from the Animals.
Ah, I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got it 4 years ago and I still wear it. It's my favorite t-shirt. It's got a hole in it and shit. And I still wear it all the time because it's my favorite. And I wear it over the top of a hoodie because it's
yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, you're on the Shit Vegan Show. You're here. We're just going to be talking shit. So I've written a few questions down, just sort of getting everything going. If anyone's watching, please feel free to drop a line. We'll go back and forward and just, talk shit on the Shit Vegan Show. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
I've got the stream up on my end here so I can see the questions as well, but I don't think it's loading for me that well.
That's right. The comments will come up.
Is this how it's supposed to look?
Maybe hit refresh.
Okay.
All right. So I already know how your day began. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had, actually that's a good question because I bought this hot chocolate powder when I was raw vegan and I wanted it to be organic and raw so that I could have it as a raw vegan. So I had a raw organic hot chocolate for breakfast. And then for lunch, because I usually don't eat breakfast until midday. So I guess it's lunch. I had a homemade smoothie bowl with lots of mushroom extracts in it,
Life Cycle?
Life Cycle ones. Yeah, lion's mane and, cordyceps and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What did I have this morning? I had some because I'm currently unemployed for some reasons. Main one being, obviously, I'm not going to be forced to participate in any medical procedures unless I am, wanting and willing. So that's a thing we can probably talk about a bit later.
We can definitely talk about that if everybody is open to it.
I've been following along just on your page and whatnot. I think I started following you because I just saw one of your pictures come up, and so dude, you would hang out a lot with Tash, right?
We did activism a couple of times. We did the KFC what's it called?
Disruption.
Disruption.
Yeah, right.
We did the KFC disruption together, and then also the Coles. We did the Coles at Woolworths with the lamb.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I met her, and it was fucking awesome. She's so cool. Like she's such an inspiration for me. Like her courage when she goes out there and she just like goes into boss mode, and like people scream in her face, and she just does what she does. She's there for a reason, and she just gets it done. Like she's awesome. But yeah, I did activism with her, and it was great. And I would love to do more when she's back in Melbourne.
Sweet. Yeah, she's been on the show before. So I usually do the Shit Vegan show every Monday with my co-host Holly, who I chose to do the show with me because we have differing opinions on a lot of different things, and I think us bouncing off of each other and like hashing it out like live would be something that would be quite interesting for people to see. But yeah, I do that Monday as a consistent thing, and then throughout the weeks I'll just maybe play some games or talk shit with others and just take it from there. But I'll start with this question: when did you first go vegan?
I first went vegan in 2016. I was in year 12 at high school, and I had already been vegetarian for like 4 years before that because
you're quite young.
I went veggie when I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, wow.
And that was because I felt, and then even before I went veggie, I didn't eat any red meat. Or the only meat that I ate was chicken when I was 13, because I hated just red meat. I used to chew it up in my mouth and like spit it in the toilet. Like when because my mom used to make me eat it. So I would like eat like whatever it was, like risol or some shit. Yeah. And then I need to go to the toilet with like my mouth full of meat. And then I'll spit it all out in the toilet and flush it down the toilet because I couldn't eat it. And then I gave up meat when I was like 14 because I just saw it as an animal when it was on my plate. And like I would look at the chicken and I would like imagine it with feathers. I'm like, I can't eat it. Like, I'm sorry, Mom, I can't eat it. But this is when I was a teenager, and she was like, oh my God, blah, 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 protein and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought I was doing enough for the animals by being veggie. And then someone mentioned vegan to me and I didn't know what it was. I was like, what the hell does that mean? And nobody was vegan back when I was veggie, so I didn't know anything about it. And then I went down the rabbit hole and watched all the docos, like watched Earthlings and Cowspiracy and Forks Over Knives. Dominion wasn't out yet, but I've seen that since. But yeah, I pretty much just watched all of them and cried so much, and I learned so much and went vegan that night. So as soon as I found out, I was like, I'm vegan now. And that was in 2016. Yeah.
And that's, I think, very similar to how a lot of people go vegan and things like that. It's very similar to my story. I did the same. I think for me, I watched Cowspiracy back when that, I think it was when it was released. Oh, no, that was, I think it was released in 2014, but about end of 2015, coming into 2016. Oh, no, sort of the end of 2016, sorry. That's when I went vegan as well. And I sat down and I started watching Earthlings, and I couldn't even get 15 minutes through it. And then I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to try again. But this time I had a bottle of Jack sitting next to me, and I was like, fuck, every time I was like, oh, fuck, just getting through it. And I ended up getting through it, and then obviously watching like Gary Ruffsky's speech and all that sort of shit. And just straight into it. And now with the world going the way it is, it's now we've got to fucking pretty much do everything online. And now I've just got to link up with all the other shit vegans around the joint. So Yeah, thanks for joining the stream. For anyone who's here, drop us a line, drop us a comment. We are talking shit on the Shit Vegan Show. We got 9 viewers according to the stats, and that's the most viewers I've had. Hey, Avery, Faux Phoenix Gaming, she's one of my friends. She's been quite loyal to the stream, so that's pretty bloody awesome. Cool. I have been following this week as well. You've just recently got your new neck tattoo. Damn.
I have.
Yeah,
it's,
wow.
It's by Alvaro Flores. Shout out to the guy. He's also a plant-based tattooer and uses all vegan inks and equipment.
Wicked.
So if you need some geometric tattoos, go to Alvaro Flores.
Yeah, sweet. That looks awesome. And that will bring me into my next bunch of questions. You've got a lot of tattoos. When did you start collecting tattoos?
It was pretty much as soon as I turned 18. So it was about the same time that I went vegan, actually, because I went vegan when I was 18. And then I started getting tattooed when I was 18 as well. And my first one is actually on my ribs, which was this little guy. And I got that tattoo when I was 18, like shortly after my birthday. And I've just never stopped since getting them. I haven't gone any longer than like a few months between tattoos.
Wow.
Like as soon as I got one, I was like booking appointments left, right, and center.
Yeah, I've got a couple sort of floating around on my skin. This is the one that's my conversation piece. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's,
what does it have on the knife?
It's a pig.
Oh, wow. Oh, I can see it now. Okay, cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that was that's my latest one, and yeah, it's just a money thing for me.
My conversation starter is my sleeve. It has a chicken here and then also a cow at the top. And everyone comes up to me like, is that a cow on your arm? I'm like, yes, and a chicken as well to represent all of the babies that die because you eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Make them feel guilty.
yeah, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Jamo G, fuck yeah to the tatted vegans.
Yeah, Jamo's tatted as fuck too. Jamo has face tats and neck tats. He's covered. You should have him on the show. Actually, he's a really good speaker too. You should have him on next week.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah, let's do it. Let's set it up. So if you're here, Jamo, send us a message and we'll have a chat sometime next week. Hell yeah, sweet. So I saw the other day that you also had one on your belly done in the same time you got your neck one done.
Oh, yes. I got my stomach done a couple of weeks ago now, but I got my stomach and then like the next day I got my neck tattooed or like 2 days later or something. It was like 2 or 3 days later after I got my stomach done, I got my neck done. And then a week after I got the first session on my neck, I had my back tattoo booked in, which was a full day of liner on my back. And then 2 days after my back tattoo, I had another session on my neck.
Wow, bloody hell. Like, how do you put up with it? Like, do you ever tap out and just say, nah, I'm done for the day?
No, I've never tapped out ever. I have like too much pride to tap out, but I don't really mind getting tattooed as well. Like I actually quite like it. It's like my form of therapy, especially like if I'm having a really shit run for like a month or two, like I'll book in a tattoo. I'm like, I need to go to therapy, and my therapy is like getting tattooed. And you just like, the day is yours, you know, you sit back and like the artist like looks after you and you like, and they make sure that you're fed and like you get good treatment and it's all about you. Like you get to go through like the physical pain, and as you're overcoming the physical pain, you're also overcoming your mental traumas as well. I kind of like see it that way. And also it's like form of meditation, because like I also meditate when it gets really painful, and the pain, I can make it go away. So it helps me get better with meditating too, which is cool.
Yeah, you're not the only person who's actually said that to me. I know a couple of people who do the same thing. Sorry, I'm just gonna stand up because I've got my raising desk. Calm up with me. Check this shit out.
How much did that cost you?
I built it. So I got all the bits and pieces, all, you know, got it all ready and put everything together. So here's there's you.
There's us. Inception.
There's my other screen, and there's my desk and all that sort of shit.
Wow, so good job.
Built that all together.
You should start a business.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, with working from home being a massive thing, I'm going to try and find a job that I can do shit from home and, you know, try and maybe work and shit vegans a lot. I'm considering, because I go out and hit Facebook like fucking heaps hard with all the shit that's going on lately and, you know, vegan shit and whatnot. I'm considering asking, well, swallowing my pride and seeing if I can start like a Patreon and just get paid to fucking just use Facebook and just fucking pump shit
Well, a lot of
vegans
vegan activists and like content creators get crowdfunded to continue their activism and like their online, what's it called? Your online presence.
Yeah.
You know, they get paid because like their like followers just like really appreciate the work that they're doing. So, you know.
Hell yeah.
It
Speaking
can
of
happen.
vegan activism, what sort of vegan activism do you take part in? Do you hit it as often as you can, or do you go to like Cuba Truths and things like that, or what do you do?
Okay, so my first activism that I started doing, actually before I even did like outreach activism, it was more so like online, like sharing stuff and like I would share really controversial things online about veganism back before it was huge. So like I had nobody on my side. So I had a lot of people like commenting, like trying to give me excuses or reasons why they can't go vegan, or like, oh, you're just being pushy, blah, 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 blah. And I would use those opportunities to educate those people that were like feeling angry about it. I'm like, I'm sorry that you're mad, but it's like your guilty conscience showing. And like, this is the reason why I'm speaking up about it, blah, 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 blah. So I was doing all that online when I first went vegan. And I got a fucking lot of hate for it. I used to get bullied for it as well. But, you know, it's worth it. The animals, they're going through a lot more than I was going through when I was speaking out against it. You know, it's nothing compared to what they're going through.
Exactly.
So, and then after I started doing online stuff, I did some stuff with AV before they were problematic. And I did like Cube of Truths. And what else? And then, and also just like the disruptions. I always forget that word, the disruptions with don'twatch.org and with Tash. And then also with UFAR, which is United for Animal Rights Melbourne, that Jamo actually runs.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's how we became friends, because we actually did a collab with don'twatch.org and UFAR. And we went and did an action at Woolworth, and pretty much just like held up signs and stuff saying like go to don'twatch.org, because it has like lots of information on there. It has a short little video to show you all of the industries and stuff. So yeah, just lots of actions and disruptions and outreach and stuff. But a lot of the stuff I do is online as well.
Yeah, sweet. That's awesome. I've been for a long while there. I was the chapter organizer here in Adelaide, and it got heaps for AV, that is, and there was just heaps on my plate at the time, and I had to take a bit of time off for a while, and then now it's with my good friend Deanna over here. So we're still hitting AV and doing that every now and again. But I went and bought a TV today because I've actually been out in the streets by myself just on a Saturday night in Rundle Mall down here in Adelaide, and have drunk people walking past and just talking shit and trying to hold people accountable and shit like that. I think a lot of people should, if they're having issues with certain activism groups and shit like that, they should be doing it themselves. And people will get lots of support that way as well. So but yeah, good on you for doing all your activism, and the animals really appreciate it, and it's wicked having so many diverse sets of people, and getting it all sorted. So thank fuck for people like us, all the shit vegans out there. So
yes, thank fuck vegans. We're the ones putting in the hard work for the fucking planet.
Yeah, that's it. What would you say in your own, I guess, in your opinion, what do you think the most? This is an open question, doesn't really have any answer. What do you think the most effective form of activism is?
Bits and pieces of all kinds of activism. I think all of it is important. I think that every kind of vegan is important as well. I think even though everybody hates health vegans, I think they're important as well, because some people who are selfish and won't go vegan for the animals will go vegan for the health, and that still helps the animals regardless if they care or not. And also I think that pushy vegans are good because they rise up something in people that is like, oh, I hate pushy vegans, or I hate them. It's like, but why though? So like then they have to sit with that feeling of why does it make them mad, and kind of like work that out with themselves, which is really good, like internal conversation that they need to have with themselves.
Yep.
I think that disruptions are really good because it gets a lot of attention on social media, and it spreads really fast and it gets to a wider audience. I think that the informative approach is really good, like Earthling Ed. He's really good because he gives you Vegan lot of information, and he answers literally every single question that people have, and every excuse. He goes, well, this and this and this and this, like this is why you can do it, and you give me that excuse, well, I'll give you this reason. Like he's got all the answers, and I think that every kind of vegan and every kind of activism is really, really important as well. Like I even had a friend actually who doesn't do like outreach activism, but he did it through like food activism. He actually ran a vegan cafe, which he used to cook food that was all entirely vegan, but it was like food for omnis that like tasted like awesome junk food that like didn't even taste vegan. So people would come there and they wouldn't even know that it was a vegan cafe, and they'd bring their friends and their family and everybody would eat it. And then at the end, he'd be like, by the way, this is all plant-based and you don't have to miss out on anything. And I think that's really important too.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah. Avery, Faux Phoenix Gaming, got to go back to my stream. Just having a break from dinner. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking the stream out. To everyone here who's just tuning in, you're on the Shit Vegan Show. This is Nick. We're having a chat with Bronte from Melbourne. I joined up on her stream the other day, and she saw my name or Shit Vegans just pop up on there, and she just offered to come and have a chat. So here we are. That's how it is.
Here we are.
Yeah, sweet. I've got a few questions here, which you know. So easy question: why did you go vegan? Obviously, we know the main reason.
For the animals is the main reason. Always, it's always about the animals. It always has been, and it always will be for the animals. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because they deserve freedom and they deserve liberation and they deserve mercy, you know? And I believe that everything ever should have liberation and should be free, regardless of what species you are or what gender or race or whatever. Everybody should have the right to be free, and that includes animals as well. So that's definitely my main reason, and also all of the reasons, but mostly the animals, but also like environmental as well. If we're going to have a healthy planet to live on in the future for future generations, then the only way to do that is a vegan world. You know, we're not going to reach that point of a healthy environment and a sustainable environment if not everybody's vegan, because it's the only sustainable way to live.
Yep, totally agree. And whilst I agree with the core message of things like Extinction Rebellion, for instance, they're all a bunch of hypocrites, right? Because most of them go home and eat the steak at bloody dinner time. So there's so many environmentalists that go get a feed at Macca's, and you know. Isn't that just crazy? You know.
I know, hypocrisy in its finest form. I
remember a couple of years ago, there was a massive protest. It was all happening, I think, all around Australia. And here in Adelaide, there was a massive protest. I was at work and I was on my lunch break, and I just grabbed a bit of cardboard that I could see around the office. And I was like, you know, what am I going to write on here? What am I going to write on here? I want to be provocative. I want to be a bit trolly. I want to, you know, try and fucking turn some heads. And so I wrote, if you're not vegan, massive word vegan, you don't care about our environment. And I was walking around the whole thing, just, you know, holding the sign up, and people were giving me like fucking side eyes and shit like that. And I'm like, well, you know, let's talk about it. Let's explain. Let me explain why. And it's just a crazy thing. So if anyone's here, drop us a line, drop us a comment. We've got 5 viewers at the moment. We went from 9 down to 8, then now down to 5. So if anyone wants to...
be environmentalists who aren't vegan.
Yeah, hey. They're all leaving. All right, so I've got a few things here. So what are your go-to vegan meals?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm.
They're always changing. I eat a really wide variety of food. I always love to try new things. Every time I go to like a vegan restaurant, I always order something different every single time. And if I'm like at the shops or something, or if I'm around Fitzroy or Brunswick area, I always stop in at the cruelty-free shop or the Brunswick vegan grocery store and make sure I pop in and grab something from there. But at the moment, I'm really feeling like smoothie bowls because I'm trying to transition back to raw vegan.
Yeah.
So I'm really feeling smoothie bowls at the moment. I love just like fruit platters. Um, I love like eating meals that are just one thing at the moment. So like heaps of bananas. I'll have like three
Oh,
bananas for
awesome.
breakfast,
Yeah.
or like a bowl of just cut up apple, or like berries. I ate so many
Yeah.
berries.
Yeah.
I have berries tattooed all over me. I've got like berries on my sleeve and all up here. I Berries are my favorite. They're so good,
Yeah.
and I put them in everything. But if it's like meals, like if I go out somewhere, I love a good burger. Love a good vegan
Oh,
burger,
yeah.
big greasy, dirty
Mm-hmm.
burger. So
Mm-hmm.
good. Like I'm trying to like find a place that sells like really good raw vegan food that I can go to. I'm yet to find one here in Melbourne, but I'm on the lookout. I also love pizza,
Oh,
vegan
yeah.
pizza.
Pizza's got to be up there with my favorite foods. That and those and
Pizza's up
burritos.
there. Oh, and
Yeah.
burritos too.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
what's a really good vegan joint to eat over in Melbourne? I've been over. I haven't been over there. Well, I've been over there once since I was a vegan back in like 18, and I didn't really get to try out too many things because I was actually my then girlfriend at the time. She was on. She was doing the campaign with Sea Shepherd, and I was staying sort of around that area, so we couldn't really get out too much. So what's a good place to go?
Right. There's a few good ones actually, especially in Fitzroy area on Brunswick Street. That's like vegan central. There's a really good one called Smith and Daughters, and they're actually moving venues at the moment to somewhere else, but I don't know where they're moving to. But they're moving venues. But Smith and Daughters is really, really good. Veggie Bar is really good. Everything is vegetarian there, and then most things are vegan there. So I think there's like one thing on the menu that's not vegan, but it's veggie. But if you're gonna go there, make sure you don't get the veggie thing. Get the vegan things.
Yeah, you don't want to be fucking up any cows at the same time.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. I don't know why they don't just make it an entirely vegan restaurant, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then also there's another place called Smith and Deli. It's actually owned by the same people, the Smith and Daughters, and it's like a takeaway, pretty much a deli, and they have like all vegan meats there,
Oh,
and they have like
wicked.
sandwiches and like cheeses and like just really good stuff. Really, really good. And then another good place is what is it called? Oh my God, I had it in my head and now it's gone. Oh, Transformer. It's around the corner from Veggie Bar. I think they're owned by the same people actually. And it's kind of like a fancy vegan restaurant, and they've got like smaller plates with like smaller, like fancy like meals. You know how like fancy places have small meals?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. And it's kind of fancy. And I went on a date there with Ricky, but like it was a bit too fancy for me. So then I just went to Veggie Bar straight after. And then there's also another place called Super Raw, and it's like around the corner from me. And it's everything's entirely vegan. I think all the staff are vegan as well.
Oh, awesome.
So sick. They have like their own homemade vegan Kit Kats and
Oh.
like Snickers bars.
Mm.
And they have really amazing smoothie bowls, which obviously I love smoothie bowls. And they have like Buddha bowls, like wellness ones with like
Oh,
rice
awesome.
and veggies and stuff. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, sweet. All right. So, well, the next question was, what's your best snack? But you just covered most of that. So, if someone were to say to you, "Oh, but plants feel pain," what would you say to that?
If you care about the feelings of plants, which I have a really deep connection to plants as well. Like I hug trees. I think that trees can hear us and they communicate to each other through mycelium under the ground and stuff. So like I understand where the argument comes from. And if you really, really care about plants, then going vegan actually saves more plants as well. Because
That's right.
if you're not vegan, the animals that you're eating are eating far, far more plants than I could ever eat in a year. Like those animals eat way more. So more plants are actually dying by you not being vegan. And if you are vegan, less plants will die because they won't be needing to feed all the animals. So if you care about plants, it's veganism still the best way to go.
Ain't that some truth? Yeah. See, there's so many different routes you could go down with that, but that's the quite a that's probably the most like straightforward. I say to people, because I'm a bit trolly out on the internet in Facebook and all that sort of shit. I always say, oh, well, the plants' rights activists are out in force at the moment, but you do understand that your argument, you saying plants feel pain, is an argument for veganism, because obviously the amount of fucking plants that are fed to animals, you obviously, you obviously don't care about animals more than you care about plants, so... or along those lines. I also say you're not really going to go back in if your house is on fire to save your cactus before you save your dog. So it's like, it's just,
that's a good one. That's a good one. You're going to go inside and save your animals before you save all of your indoor plants, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, it's I've heard that one before and sort of used different words to describe it, but yeah, it's cool like having these sort of discussions and whatnot. It's like you get all the different ways to to respond to people, and it's being vegan's like it can be pretty fun sometimes too, especially if you
so fun. I love being vegan. It's my favorite thing that I do in my life. It's the best decision I ever made, and it's like the best thing that I still continue to do to this day.
Ricky Townsend 12, Sam and I are here.
Sick. Sam and I are here. Oh, that must be my friend Leah.
What's going on, Leah? Do you want to drop a comment, drop us a question for Bronte, and we can try and open it up? We were talking shit in the Shit Vegan show. This is just a new thing that I'm doing. I've probably had the show for a couple of months now. I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to start something up. Got all the shit ready to do it. So, outside of veganism, what sort of things do you do? What do you do for work? I've heard that you've been published in magazines.
Yeah, so for my job, I'm actually a stripper and I work at Kinnon's nightclub in South Melbourne.
Very cool.
I'm actually working this weekend, so come through.
Get down there.
Yeah, and I've been published in a few magazines, but that's more so just for fun. I just model sometimes for fun. I don't really do that for work because I really like to be creative and express myself creatively, especially like through tattoos and like my image and like with modeling, and also with I like to draw as well in my free time. They're not very good, but they're like uplifting kind of drawings about like gratitude and like spirituality and all that kind of stuff. I also meditate a lot every day. And I like to read. At the moment, I'm reading a book about Zen Buddhism by Alan Watts. If you don't know who Alan Watts is, do yourself a favor and just search up his name and go down the rabbit hole.
Alan Watts, I've heard he does a really good book about or a way to quit smoking, right? Is he the one that
I'm not too sure, but he's a philosopher and he's amazing.
Yeah, right. Okay, I will look into that. So we've got Jamo G, the Queer Musketeers are here.
Yes, and then Ricky. So that's actually a funny thing because Jamo, Leah, and we started hanging out through activism, and we're all queer because like I'm pan and Jamo and Leah are both gay. So like we call ourselves the Queer Musketeers when we hang out.
Very awesome. We were watching you talk about good vegan eats, so check out Union Kiosk in the city. Best vegan jaffles ever. Union Kiosk.
Okay, cool. The Queer Musketeers will probably head down there during the week.
Yeah, so what's it like in Melbourne at the moment? They're lifting the restrictions and whatnot, aren't they?
Yeah, for the most part. For some people, they are.
For some, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's better because now we're actually allowed out of our houses because, as I'm sure you know, Melbourne has gone through the longest lockdown in the world.
Yes.
Yes. Besides from the animals, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Gone through the longest lockdowns.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melbourne's gone through 200 70 something days of lockdowns and restrictions. So we're actually allowed outside now and allowed to go down the street. So I've been going on lots of picnics with my Queer Musketeer friends.
Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, Melbourne's cool now at the moment. But yeah, it's fine. I hope it doesn't shut down though because of the new Omicron fucking.
The new Unicron,
Anyways.
the Transformer variant.
Transformer, yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. Did you watch Transformers growing up?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
know.
Yeah. Transformer. Every time it's like collect them all of the variants. It's like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, that's it. So I wanted to. So you mentioned that you were published in magazines. What magazines were they? Just sort of friend ones, or just like any big ones or anything like that?
So there was one called Tattoo Culture. There was one called I can't remember it. It's called No, I can't remember what they were called. There's like a few of them. I could probably find it on Instagram if you want to ask the next question while I look for it.
Yeah, very cool. Do you have any pets that are floating around the joint?
My housemate has a cat who's in his room. You can probably hear my housemate making music in the background.
I can't. What sort of music?
It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just really cool. But if you want to search up his music, his Spotify is Ray Pelka, and he's got really cool music.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, and also my partner makes music as well, so search up Yambra too.
Wicked. Yeah.
Can't plug your housemate without plugging my boyfriend. Hey.
Yeah, you can. You didn't create an account, but what's the @? I will put them in the stream now.
Okay, so Ricky is my partner, and he's at. Do you mean on Instagram?
Yeah, I'll just type it into the chat and it will come up.
Okay, yeah, cool. So it's _ Yambra, which is YAMBRA.
Yep.
And then _
Yep.
And then my housemates is just Ray Pelka, which is RayPelka.
RayPelka. Boom. All right.
Yeah.
So
I
get on
actually
there.
found one of the magazines that I was also in as well. So my partner and I were both in this magazine together. We did like a beach tattoo shoot.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and the magazine is called Killer Magazine.
Yeah, wicked. I went down your Instagram page and to try and find a pretty good shot to put up. Like I was talking to Bronte earlier today, and I was going to suggest getting a pretty good photo to put up to try and like plug shit vegans because the algorithms, man, they eat that shit up.
They do. They really do.
Let's see
I'm trying to find another mag.
How much reach it's got today. 71 people reached organically, and I haven't even boosted the post, and it only went up 6 hours ago. So that's all right for not a very big page, but yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Oh, I was also in Wildside Inked Media, and that was like this set.
Oh, wow. Yeah, very cool.
That's when I was bald.
Yeah. What made you decide to shave your hair off?
To tattoo my head.
Yeah, wicked.
Because
I'm a bald guy.
Yeah, it was completely bald, but it's not anymore. I've got hair now.
Yep.
But I knew that if I was getting entirely covered in tattoos, then in the future, if I was fully covered and if I knew that my head was bare, it would annoy me. So and then if I would have to shave my head later in life, it would take it'd be shorter for longer because it's it's later. And then now I have more time to grow my hair out long after tattooing it.
Yeah. So here's a question. You probably get asked it a lot. Do you think you'll regret them in the future?
No. God, no.
Nah, I won't with mine either.
Absolutely not. If I never got tattoos, I would regret not getting them.
Yeah, hey.
That's like one of the only things I spend money on as well. And it's the only thing that I don't regret spending money on. Like I've bought like brand new cars and stuff and I'm like, why did I buy a brand new car? I don't even care about cars.
Yeah.
And like now I've sold the cars that I've had and they were pretty nice, expensive cars, but I've sold them now and now I just drive like a $3,000 Nissan Pulsar from the 80s because I don't care about cars and like I don't need expensive things. But the only thing that I will spend money on and that I won't feel bad about it is tattoos and food.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, and
wicked.
charities, donating to sanctuaries too.
Oh, yeah, cool. Do you get out to many sanctuaries? I know, what is it? Edgar's Mission out there? Out in Melbourne?
Mission's really big over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
really big. Yeah, they're quite popular. So I don't really donate to Egder's Mission because they get a lot of money from outsourcing. They sell like merchandise, and they're one of like the most popular sanctuaries in Victoria, and everybody
Yeah.
knows about it.
So
And
they
they
can
do
pretty much
like
stand on
tours
their
and stuff.
own.
People pay for it, so they're quite well looked after.
Yep.
But the ones that I donate to is DRU, which is Death Row Unchained, which is
yeah.
in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And they pretty much go and rescue all of the animals that are on death row and are about to be
Yep.
euthanized in the pounds.
Yep.
And then they like rehome them or put them into foster care. So I donate to them on a regular basis. And then also Safe Haven Animal Sanctuary, which is actually my friend's sanctuary. Her name's Kat, and she just owns it at her house. And they just have like a bit of land, and they just rescue all these animals, which is actually where my housemate got his cat from,
Nice.
because there was a cat there and it just rubbed all over me, and I was like, oh my God, my housemate's looking for a cat and this one loves me, so I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
yeah, so I donate to them on a regular basis as well, because they're small time and like not very well known yet. They will be though.
Yeah.
And
after this,
yeah, they could use a hand. So if anybody has any money, like $1, $2 or whatever, head down to Safe Haven and chuck them a donation.
Yeah, wicked. We've got Jamo G. Would you guys get face tats?
Yes, Jamo, you already know that I would.
The stream doesn't.
Yeah, the stream doesn't. I would. Yes, I would get face tats. I don't know what I'd get yet, but yes, I will be getting those in the future.
Yeah,
what about you?
I personally wouldn't. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. You know, I mean, not that I have a problem with that. I don't really care, but yeah, I don't know. I think my face is all right as it is.
Yeah, it is. Everybody always tells me not to get them. They're like, don't ruin your face. I'm like, I'm just going to add to it. Like, I'm just decorating.
You might be able to see over in the corner there, my little girl, right where my finger is. She's snoozing.
She's blending in with
blending
the couch.
yeah. Betty.
Is it a cat or a dog?
She is cat, yeah.
I love cats. They're the best.
Try and make noises so she can lift her head up. Nah. Her favourite toys are bottle caps, which are like beer bottle tops. And I throw them around the house and she'll pick them up and drop them by my feet and go again when she's feeling frisky. Check out.
Always play with things that are like trash, and they don't play with things that you buy them ever.
Yeah, I know. She's like that too. I bought her a nice bed one time. She doesn't have it anymore, but she wouldn't even sleep on it. And it was fucking awesome. She'll go and sleep in a box. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, in a cardboard box.
Check out my pants.
Oh, you got some. Did you buy some when they had their sale because they were closing down their store?
Yeah. The Vegan Alliance for Adelaide. So I'm good mates. Well, once upon a time I was really good mates with Luke and Amy. Now we're just more sort of acquaintances. But yeah, they were selling all their shit, and I've fucking went and bought it all up pretty much. I got like hoodies, got hats.
I bought some as well.
Yeah,
When I saw that they were having a closing down sale, everything was 50% off. I was like, oh my God. And bought heaps of stickers and stuff. So yeah,
buy it all. The Vegan Alliance. Do you have any friends or any other sort of vegan outlets you'd like to plug? Any friends you'd like to shout out? We've got another question from. Oh no, not question. Cats are the best from Ricky Lee. Is it?
Cats are the best. Cats are the best. Vegan brands or whatever. Yeah. So don'twatch.org. That's run by one of my really good friends.
That's
so
Dim, right?
Follow that. Don'twatch.org, which is run by Dimstagram, which is dim.stagram. Who's one of my really good friends, and he does lots of work in the activism community, and he is quite a familiar face here in Melbourne. A lot of people that are in the vegan community, especially the activist communities, know of him or are really good friends with him. He's just an all-round really cool person. Also United for Animal Rights Melbourne, which is UFAR that I was talking about earlier, which Jamo runs. What else? Vegan brands. I don't really shop brand new things that often because I like to go thrifting instead and shop secondhand because I think it's a bit more environmentally friendly than buying brand new things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably all I have in my mind at the moment to think of.
That's a very vegan thing to say.
Yeah, I know. Everything that I buy is secondhand, like literally everything. Or everything that I'm wearing at the moment, either I've had it for over 5 years or like this hoodie that I'm wearing underneath this t-shirt is an Ish Pig hoodie that one of my customers bought for me a couple years ago. And everything else was from either Marketplace, like Facebook Marketplace, or like vintage secondhand stores or op shops or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. That's more sort of, I guess, the what a lot of the younger generation are getting into these days as well. I know a lot of people around your age. I'm 31. I think when you said in 2016 you were 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that would make you 23.
Yes.
Yeah.
I turn 24 next month.
Yeah, yeah. So I know a whole bunch of people around sort of your age group that are very much into like being thrifty and actually really good at doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I actually feel guilty if I were to buy something brand new. Like I really avoid it at all costs. The only thing I buy brand new is undies and socks.
Yeah, yeah, hey, yeah. You're not going to bloody buy that secondhand,
and
right?
Food. I buy food brand new too.
Yep. So one of the things I sort of, it's probably not a good way of justifying it, but if I want to sort of justify buying something brand new, I think, well, my offset from not eating animals is, is making it a bit better. But having said that, yeah. So having said that though, I still like I actually went op shopping the other day and bought a shirt that was just from like a gym and I thought it looked really good, but now it's from a boxing gym and I don't box. So I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to start boxing. But yeah, so you what sort of music do you listen to? Do you listen to like heavy music? That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, I grew up on metal and metalcore heavy music. When I was younger, I was really into punk, like Offspring. And then I got really into metal, like Metallica. And then as I got older and was like a teenager and stuff, I was into like Amity Affliction and like Parkway Drive. And like Thy Art Is Murder and In Heart's Wake. I'm actually seeing In Heart's Wake next month.
Fuck yeah, that's a full tilt, right?
Yeah, I still listen to In Heart's Wake very often because a lot of their inspiration for their music is about environmental and society topics. And a lot of their music is about like looking after the planet and like, yeah, it's really cool. So it really aligns with my values because I really try and listen to music and support artists that are actually good people in person instead of like listening to shit that like if they're a really shitty person or if they're promoting really shitty stuff like I went and stabbed this person and now I'm gonna crush up some fucking coke and like I used to listen to all that stuff. I used to listen to trap music, but then as I started like doing lots of internal growth, I was like, I don't want to listen to that and support that. Like that's not what I'm about. I'm not about that anymore. But I love psytrance too.
Yeah,
I love psytrance. I love psytrance and like techno and like deep house and like drum and bass and like I love party music and like groovy music. And I also really love like funk music like Thundercat and like the Funny People. Yeah, like really funky like music as well. And also really like psychedelic rock as well.
Awesome. That's really diverse. I really like it. Good on you.
Yeah. Oh, and also binaural beats and frequency music as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm into predominantly like sort of Australian hardcore music, and me and a couple of mates are going to try and start a hardcore band. So got a bit of a thing going on. So hopefully we can sort of run our own shows because a lot of the hardcore scene has been infiltrated by a certain form of ideology that I try to distance myself from. But if it's involved in a movement, it's a you got to try and fucking work your way through it. So we got another question from Jamo G. Can you guys define a shit vegan and how it differentiates from a regular vegan? Are there certain ideologies or characteristics of being in which you categorize? So do you want to take that one?
I don't really know because I didn't make shit vegans, but so if I was to make a guess or like give my definition of it without knowing too much about it or without knowing the process in which their thought process was when making it. But from my perspective, I would say that shit vegans, the people that come on this show are kind of the more controversial people that get a lot of hate, and we're classed as like, oh, you're one of those shit vegans that are like preachy or like that have different views to what like one of the nice vegans has, and like, oh, are you one of those good vegans? You know, like, oh, you don't really care about what I eat. Yeah, like I'm not an apologist vegan. I'm not like, oh, it's okay if you eat meat. It's fine. It's your decision. Like that's not what I'm like. And I think that's what makes us shit vegans because we stir the pot and make people feel guilty.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the idea behind it. So
cool.
I'm glad that has actually sort of rubbed off on others who are looking outside in on shit vegans and thinking, oh, what's this? Because here in Adelaide, I'm probably known as the guy that fucking stirs the pot the most, and only because I've got a message that I want to put out there, and I'm relentless. You know? Like I've spent so much time on my Facebook page, typing and just like responding to people's arguments, and like just it's not healthy, I don't think, but it's
time consuming too.
Yeah, and it's I'm up late at night. See, sometimes like this is an example of how shit it can get. A couple of times I've been up until like fucking 5, 6 in the morning, just refreshing Facebook, waiting for the dude to respond to me. Like,
oh my God, I've done that before. Yeah, I've sat up till morning, like replying to comments and like having vegan arguments with like carnists and stuff. So
tell me about it.
I've done that, been there.
Yeah. So the idea behind shit vegans is, just vegans are generally shit in society, and just a normal characterization. And I, being a vegan myself, I've actually taken on board the term, and I've sort of turned it into something that's not as serious. It's kind of making a bit of fun of itself, but it's still sort of keeping us all together, and just that sort of thing. So we've got Ghost in the Spire. Hi from a shit vegan in Canada. Liking the discussion so far. Very cool. So you're here with the on the Shit Vegan Show with Bronte. My name's Nick. I do streams every Monday in South Australia, every Monday in the world, right? But South Australian time, 7:30 p.m. So get on, check us out, and so today having a chat with Bronte about just her life and just shit in general. So that's how it is. And one of the things with doing the streams and things like that, you'll notice that I'm just fucking just talking and I'm not fucking stopping.
Yeah, I do that too. Once I get on a tangent about something that I'm passionate about, like veganism, for instance, or if I start talking about like spirituality, if I start talking about like recycling or like taboos, I'll just go blah, 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 and I'll talk for like an hour without even taking a breath, and I'll be like...
Amazing. So recycling. So are you one of the ones that would take your jars to the supermarket and fill your jars up full of rice and things like that, or are you a bit different like that?
I actually keep my jars because I reuse them and put different things in them than what they came in. So I don't know if we can talk about mushrooms on this show, but I'm going to anyways.
Do it. Okay. I noticed a spore print on an alfoil thing you did the other day. That looked cool.
Sick. So I can discuss magic mushrooms right now.
Oh, you sure can. Psilocybin and all that stuff. I'm very familiar with the topic.
Okay, cool. All right. So I actually keep my jars because me and my friend Tristan, we go picking every year, and we do quite a large pick because we want it to last us until the next year, And I have just recently started microdosing every single day, so I need a fair bit to get me through the year.
Before you go forward, how's that going for you?
So good.
Wicked.
So good. I used to be on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, and I used to go to therapy, but now all I do is like meditate and like microdose mushrooms, and my mental state is much better than it ever has been.
Oh, that's incredible. That's so good to hear, because there's been a lot of sort of studies that have been coming out
Yeah.
Obviously, through the 60s and into the 70s and 80s, there was the massive ban on like psychedelic drugs and
Mm.
things like that. And so we lost that amount of research in that amount of time because the governments came out and they banned it all. And then now
It's
that
because
it's
of the
come,
knowledge they give us.
that's right. And now it's coming forward. The studies are being done. There's lots of Netflix series on, you know, psychedelic
Mm.
substances and things like that. Lots of wicked YouTube channels. Psyched
Mm.
Substance is a really good one. Yeah, heaps of shit. That's really awesome. So you were on antidepressants and it helped you get off of them? You're not on them anymore?
It wasn't the mushrooms that helped me get off antidepressants. I actually just got off those like years before I had even tried any psychedelics. I was only on medication for a year and a bit when I was in therapy, and then I kind of just realized it was making me feel a bit more shit and a bit like more lethargic, and it was hard to get up in the mornings, like, and it made me really sluggish and like
Yeah.
it just like bring me down. I could feel like my energy being depleted by these medications that I was on. So I just decided to like give them up, and then I stopped going to therapy like all at the same time, which was
Oh,
probably
wow.
not the best idea in
Dangerous.
hindsight. Yeah, but you know, it's fine. It's all worked out okay. And I'm
Yeah.
happy that I got off the medication when I did, because I don't want to be on any medication, which I'm not now. I don't take any tablets at
Awesome.
all for anything. I don't even take painkillers when I have a headache. I
Oh,
don't,
wow.
nothing. And yeah, I started doing psychedelics only last year. And yeah, it's changed my life. And yeah, that's why I keep the jars, because I put mushrooms in them.
Yeah, wicked. That's fucking awesome. And yeah, I'm glad you started that conversation because yeah, I've done a lot of research into it as well. And there was one time a couple of years ago where I was hanging out with a couple of friends down south here in Adelaide, in South Australia, for those that are watching, and we had a whole bunch of, you know, psilocybin mushrooms, and I was thinking, oh yeah, you know, I haven't really looked into them, I don't really know too much about them, just fucking have a handful. Fucking
Yeah.
bad idea, but
Oh,
my well-being as a result, it took me down into a deep spiral, and it really opened my mind up to the things that I was sort of suppressing and the things that I really needed to
mm,
work on.
bring it to the surface.
Yeah, bring it to the surface, and I sort of confronted them. And there was a few things that, like, I was lucky I was there with my mates because I sat them down and I told them some things that were just like deep down on my chest, which I
Mm,
was just obviously suppressing for such a long time. And I
yeah.
felt relieved afterwards, and I made a few
Mm,
different decisions in my life as a result, and for the better, I think. Obviously, there are some times where it can, you know, go bad and it can cause issues with people and their mental health and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's worth looking into. It's worth researching. It's worth yeah. It's just unbelievable, incredible journey. And that I only did that fucking like 2018, and it still
mm,
has that impact on me. And
mm,
yeah, it's fucking unreal. I think I've got some lying around, but I'm waiting for the right time because there's been a few things in my
yeah.
life since then that have caused some issues with me, but you know,
Yeah,
just as
I
we all
can
are.
relate to that. Yeah, I'm definitely due for another big trip, but I'm just waiting till things cool down a little bit in my situation,
Yeah.
especially with like the state of the world.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's quite a stressful time, and it can feel quite restrictive, and it can make you feel very trapped. And I don't want to feel that way when I'm doing mushrooms, because it might accentuate it. And
Yeah, for
I'm already
sure.
very in touch with oh, Ricky's Uber Eats is here. I'll be right
Hey,
back.
right. And I'll get to some comments. So Ricky Townsend 12, CBD oil can be prescribed by a doctor now in Australia. I did read that. I'm not sure if it's exactly in every state. At least I'm not sure if it is here in South Australia, but if you know a little bit more about that, yeah, let us know. Anyone here as well? Do you want to drop us a comment, drop us a line? We can get the questions answered.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, as I was saying, mushrooms. Oh yeah, I've got a few laying around, but I'm just waiting for the right time to do them. But I actually wanted to mention something earlier when you said that it was only in 2018 when you had your first trip and it still had such an impact on your life. My first psychedelic experience was only last year. I think it was around the start of last year. And it was actually during lockdowns. When lockdowns first started,
Oh,
I had my
wow.
first acid tab.
Yep.
And it was just like so much fun. I had such a good time, and I felt like so like free and like happy, and like everything was just awesome and sparkly. It was like a really fun, like
Like
just
electric.
uplifting.
Is that
It was like
the good
really
term?
electric. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
really, really good trip. And I had a couple of trips like since then, and then I had a really, really profound, insightful trip towards the middle of last year or the end of last year. And it still like sits with me so intensely. I actually wrote like 20 odd pages about my experience while I was on the come
Wow.
down, or like the afterglow, I like to call it. So I was coming off
Unreal.
acid, but like I always get afterglow. I'm always like, wow, like that was amazing. So I was like, in my afterglow, I wrote 20 odd pages about my experience, about all the realizations that I had. And that's what kickstarted my spiritual journey. And now my whole life has changed after that experience. And it's just like so crazy. I actually have the entire write up of it on my Instagram, in my highlights.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, if you go on the highlights to my Instagram, it has like ones that have 3 dots in them.
Yeah, okay.
If you go to the first ever one that has dot dot dot, it has like some of my thoughts and stuff while I'm like in that state of mind.
Wicked.
And
Yeah, cool. I'll check
yeah,
that
if
out
you want to
after
read about
this.
it, it's on there.
Yeah, sweet. Ghost in the Spire, is weed legal in Australia? It is not legal, but it is decriminalised. So you can receive a fine for it and pay the fine and expiate the court process, and not have to go to court. But I think if you have a certain amount, then you have to go to court. So not like in Canada. I think it's straight up legal over there. It'll
Yeah,
become
you can
legal.
go to the cafes and they sell it in the store and stuff. You can just go buy it anywhere you want, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been overseas?
Never, never.
Never
I
ever.
really want to, like, so bad. I want to go everywhere, but I've never been.
Good fucking luck.
I know, I know.
Oh.
I'm really upset that now I probably won't get a chance to do it, and I'm not going to trade up something in return for the freedom. So
Yeah,
it
hey.
looks like I'm just going to be here in Australia for the rest of my life, which is fine because I'll just go inward instead.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for keeping it on the DL as well, because it's a very, with the algorithms and all that sort of shit, it's very
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good. That's awesome. Which I'm sure we'd be able to sort of fucking talk outside of this a bit more about it as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure everybody who knows knows. If you know, you know. If you know what we're talking about, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, we get painted out in the media as something that we're not as well. It's
Yeah,
fucking
I
unreal.
know. I know. And the people who are painting it out as that are the ones that are in fact that.
Yeah. Hey, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, wow.
Just yeah.
So on the psychedelics, have you obviously you know there's all the different types of ones. Have you ever tried DMT?
Not yet. Oh my God, but I'm so ready. I was actually supposed to go to Esoteric, which is like a bush stuff here in Victoria.
Okay.
And I was supposed to go to that this year. And we were gonna do DMT together because my friend, he's done it like so many times. So he's like, I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna trip sit you and we're gonna do it at
Wow.
Esoteric. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm so keen because like I'm so ready for it now. I've been offered it one time in the past, but I wasn't ready, so I said no.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for that opportunity to come again, and I'm just like so ready for it. I know that nothing can prepare me for it, but like I'm ready for that overwhelming, amazing experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to Esoteric in March, so I'll probably be doing it in March. Otherwise, if the opportunity arises sooner, then I'll do it sooner.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm the kind of guy that if it lands in my lap, I will succumb to the experience, but I don't tend to seek it. So
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
yeah, and yeah, it's just unreal. Like there's so much to explore, and you know, so much that we're not being told, and so much that I think people know. Like there are people in the world that know this shit, and they want it to be suppressed from us. They don't want us to know. So Jamo G, DMT changed my life. I thought I morphed into a blueberry. Delicious.
Oh my God, yes. So
Yeah,
funny.
awesome. Yeah, so apparently like DMT's in everything as well. It's found in blueberries. It's found in your brain. It's
In
found
everything. It's
you know.
actually released in our brains when we're born and when we die. And it's
Yeah.
actually in like plants as well and in food. It's pretty much in just DNA and the chemical makeup of everything that is in the universe, you know.
Isn't that just crazy to think about? Like we could
Yeah.
fucking
It's
dive deep
already
into
in
that.
our brains already right
Yeah.
now, you
So
know.
one of the things I think about, you know, say it's fucking just a random weird thought. Say it gets released in our brains when we die. I think that's what people refer to as, you know, life flashing before your eyes, or you know, all that sort of shit. So it could be it could be what we're doing right now. Our lives are currently flashing before our eyes, and we're just going
We
through
could
this
be
repeating
dead
cycle.
right now.
We could be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We could
That's
be
cool. That's good.
in the Matrix. Have you watched the Matrix?
Yeah, of
Of
course.
course, yeah, no shit, right? I know a few
no
people who haven't.
shit.
If I were to ever experience a movie or a movie series again for the first time, it would be The Matrix. Because
Mine would be Avatar.
oh yeah, the Pandora and Unobtainium and all that sort of stuff. Yep. Yeah,
They're making
wicked.
a number 2, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the
Yeah.
first one in a drive-in cinemas here in Adelaide, and that was actually
Yeah, amazing movie. So
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh God, there's so many. There's like so many. I really love Shutter Island. I like psychological movies.
Yep.
I really love Life of Pi,
Okay. Yep.
which is more like a spirituality
Mhm.
movie. I really love Fight Club.
Yeah.
I like the movie Lucy.
Is that don't tell me Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. I also really love the movie Limitless.
That's her as well, right?
Nah, Limitless is what's his name? Bradley Cooper.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he takes the pill and it accesses his entire brain.
Wouldn't that be something
Go
interesting?
on. That's like DMT pretty much.
Yeah.
You
Hey.
know?
Yeah. Liquid luck.
And I also really like this movie called Lion. It's just like a really beautiful movie about a guy finding his way home back to his culture and his family. And it's really, really beautiful. I cried so much. I don't really cry in movies, and I'd never cried in a movie up until last year after I had my spiritual awakening and I became more in touch with my emotions. I never cried in any movies ever. And then I watched a sad movie for the first time after like having my awakening, and I just bawled my eyes out. I just let out all my emotions. I was like, man, crying in movies is the best. Like if it's sad, just cry. It's so good. But yeah, I love psychological movies. There's plenty more that I have. Actually, I have a list. I have a list of movies that I've been working through, and there's like been some really, really good ones that I really like. I also really like alien movies. Oh, there's this one called Arrival. Have you seen it?
Nah.
Oh, it's so good. It's about aliens in like universal language. It's like really, 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 really good. Also, Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds is really good.
Who's in Rival?
The girl from Black Mirror, from the Nosedive episode. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah, I have.
You know the episode how they use their phones to pay for things and they do the social rating, like.
Oh, I like Where We're Going.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lady who's the main character of that episode is in Arrival. I forget her name though, but it's really, really good. She's a redhead.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched it, but I know the movie. Yeah. Yep.
You should watch it. It's amazing. It's so good. If you're into aliens, you'll love
Adams. That's Jamo G. Thanks for that. Did you do a quick Google for us?
Oh, yep. That's her.
Jamo. Hey, Jamo, if you're still here, and you've got your phone in your hand, do this for me. Go into Google and type in 789342 times 12 and tell me what comes up. Just, I don't know why I'm doing that. Just keeping the Keeping
Is it a funny number?
Nah, I'm just keeping the stream going.
Oh, okay. I was like, is it like supposed to be funny?
Just engaging
Like,
with
I
the
thought it
stream.
was going to be like equals 69 or something. I was like, oh, good one.
We've got Yambra 1 as well.
Is he in here?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's my partner.
Oh, hey. What's going on?
Hi, Ricky.
Everyone here,
Yambra.
please feel free to hit subscribe as well. Get onto social media. You can follow if you're following through my page. Follow Bronte.Elizabeth with 2 H's on Instagram, and he's got the number.
What was
Cheers,
it?
Jamo.
9472092. He actually did it.
Awesome. But yeah, feel free to hit subscribe, like, comment, share, all this sort of stuff. I want to try and get Shit Vegans out as far as it can. With myself being unemployed at the moment, I got to try and fucking work on a way to make money. So we're coming up to an hour and 10 minutes. I got to go and get to Bunnings again because I bought some bloody some things for my TV so I can put a strap in there.
Oh yeah.
And
what time does Bunnings close over there?
They'll close at 9 in about 2 hours, but I usually like to keep these to about an hour. We've gone a little bit over, which has actually been really good. So I reckon we'll finish it up there, and I guess we'll we can remain friends. So if you're ever in Adelaide or ever come across here, you've always got a place to crash, and I'm sure I've the same every time I head up there, and it's good networking. So if you want to drop any social medias or anything like that, please feel free to do it now.
Cool. So I think you should network with Jamo, of course.
Yep.
And also with my friend Leah. Her Instagram's Serial Chiller. She's in the chat as well, though, so I'll get her to put that in there because I forget how she spells it.
Serial Chiller?
Serial Chiller, but I forget how. It's like with no E or something, I'm pretty sure. Also, Dimstagram as well, my friend Dim. Also Yambra, I'm sure he'd be happy to come on.
Sweet. Dim.
Who else? Oh yeah, also my friend Tay. Her Instagram is activist for all. She also has a lot of information on there on her stories, so watch out for those.
Wicked.
Who else?
Oh, Paul, yes, you did only just join at the end, my friend. Paulius Vegan, my mate, another shit vegan from Lithuania, comes and checks out all the streams out as they're on. So feel free to check it out again. But after this, you continue with who you were dropping.
Yeah, that's all. All
right, sweet. So what I'll do with this is I'll export it to YouTube afterwards. I'll put a pretty sick thumbnail on it, and then we can share it out through the socials. So now you've got a bit of a you online, and
cool. A bit of a YouTube presence now.
Yeah, wicked. So thanks heaps for coming on, and really appreciate it. And anytime hit me up. I'm sure we'll be able to link up and share knowledge and all that sort of shit. So really appreciate it. I guess. Yeah, no worries. Cool, and that'll be it. So I'm going to transition to the track. Here it is. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. All right. Peace. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time. It's been Shit Vegans. Laters.
Bye.
Shit Vegans, boy.